Hi, everyone. Welcome to Three Essential Questions, New Mexico's business and nonprofit podcast. I am your host, Pam Myers, and I'm here with my wonderful co host, the most fabulous Erica Yoakum. Our guest today is Raven Starr. Raven is the president and coordinator for the Pagan Pride event Albuquerque that is coming up the end of this month on Sunday, September the 28th, right, at Benten Park from 10 to 5. And we're delighted to have you here, Raven. And I want to just say you're affiliated with the Pagan Pride Project, which is a global organization, right? And the mission is to reduce discrimination through education and by example. And you'll probably do a better job of explaining that. But
Yes,
thanks for joining.
I'm very excited to have an opportunity to talk about this event. It's one very near and dear to my heart. I have been volunteering with this event on one level or another for almost 20 years now.
Amazing.
And it's a wonderful event at the park. And our mission is to foster pride in pagan identity through education, activism, charity, and community. And one of the main purposes of our event, besides having a free to the public pagan community event, is it's a food drive. The only cost of admission is we ask for people to bring a non-expired, non-perishable food item or to make a small cash donation to the food pantry at First Unitarian Church, which is in partnership with Roadrunner Food Bank.
Most awesome. So I want to back up a second. Global thing? Tell me what? Say what?
So Pagan Pride started at a time when most people hadn't heard about us. Pagans are an interesting bunch. Some say it's a spirituality, some say it's a religion. And trying to define what a pagan is pretty tricky. But we're very earth-centered. We usually focus on belief systems that are pre-Christian or shamanic or, just a little outside the box. And so most of the time when people would hear about us, it would either be misrepresentations in media or, pagans run amok in a not very flattering way.
Right.
So this event started as a way to let the community know who we are and what we do. And across the board, the pagans I've known, and I've been a pagan for over 40 years, are so involved in volunteering in so many different ways. And so this was just one way to publicly show the public who we are, what we believe in. We're just your neighbors. Come have fun with us at the park.
No horns, no tails, nothing burning anywhere, just people.
Yeah, exactly. Just people having fun at the park. And so, if you come out and join us, we'll have a lot of vendors. We'll have nonprofits, all sorts of different nonprofits. We'll have a public ritual so you can see what it looks like when we are practicing what we believe. It's just a fun day at the park. And then, of course, the main focus is the food drive. Last year, I think we collected 1,600 pounds of food.
Holy mackerel. Wow.
And it's not our biggest. Our biggest, I think, was 1,800.
Wow.
And that goes directly to our neighbors here in Albuquerque who are experiencing food insecurity. And that is so important, especially right now.
Oh, absolutely. With budgets the way they are and everything. Now, how long, Raven, has this been going on? How long has it been happening in Albuquerque?
It's been going on, I don't have the exact number of years, but well over 20. It was going strong when I joined in 2006. And it's been at Benten Park for at least 20 years.
Wow.
And that's just this local Pagan Pride. They're all over the place.
Meaning there's others around the state?
I believe there's one in Las Cruces. I think there's another one that I can't think of off the top of my head. but
Okay.
they're in every state. Before I moved here, I went to the one in Los Angeles. So yeah, they are a big thing. They're once a year. They're always in the fall.
Okay.
'Cause
And
that's the harvest.
right. Right. I mean, is that why? Is that
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
you.
said because that's when it's harvest time.
That's exactly it. Yes,
Right.
this is part of our harvest celebration where a lot of pagans honor the effort and just the joy of having food, which is, for many of us, we take it for granted. And it used to be people were so in tune with the seasons. When you're agrarian, the fall is such a big deal. That's when you're bringing in all the crops. It's a huge amount of labor. And if you get it wrong, then you might not make it through the winter.
Right.
And so we
Or
tend to
ruin your ground for next season. I mean, yeah, it all. Yeah.
exactly.
Excuse me.
We are so disconnected nowadays with where our food comes from and the people who make sure it happens, that this is kind of a moment to just reflect on all of that. And for those of us who are in a good place in our lives, to be grateful and to try to help our neighbors who aren't so fortunate.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to explain to a complete newbie what it means to be pagan, what do you say?
If you ask 3 pagans that question, you will get 4 answers.
So the way I once had it explained to me that there are as many different varieties of paganism as there are different varieties of Christian, right? Like you have the Lutherans and the Beth and the Catholics and the blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Because they all slightly different, but it's I think how it was explained to me was more about it was a pre-Christianity freedom of self.
To some extent, yes, that's as good a definition as any. So typically pagans, like I said, they tend to be very earth-centered and very environmentally involved. Some volunteer work I've done over the years I worked in wildlife rehab, taking care of injured wild baby animals. A lot of us are very green-minded. But that's certainly not the only thing, nor is it, there's no single defining characteristic of pagans other than usually, but not always, they follow a non-Judeo-Christian belief system. That said, I know people who identify as Christian and they're Christo-pagans. And, so part of our practice is we focus more on how you conduct yourself than on who you believe in.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, and coming to the park and seeing all these people who believe in so many different things, right? And yet we're all working for a common purpose that is very productive and very important is one of the reasons why it's so near and dear to my heart.
It's very cool that you've moved from the bringing in of the crops to bringing in the food. So it's essentially a modern day way of bringing in the crops. That's a great way of handling that, and because so people can understand. Yeah.
Explain what happens, Raven, from 10 to 5 that day? What are like the events that are going to take place?
So we have a very well-known musical talent named Wendy Rule, and she will be one of our performers. We're going to have belly dancers. We'll have a singing group, and that's just the performers. Like I said, we're going to have all sorts of different wonderful workshops. We are going to have, there's just stuff going on all day. We're just now putting together the schedule of events for our brochure, and it's like we don't have room for one more thing. We have two full slots of workshops. We have music and dancing going on all day. What a wonderful problem to have, an embarrassment of riches, right?
Right.
That's
awesome.
very cool.
Yeah. How many people normally attend?
Ooh, good question.
It's difficult to get a number because we don't charge a gate fee. There's no ticketing involved. Usually we get a good idea by the amount of food we collect.
Oh,
Um,
right.
So yeah, it can be anywhere, I don't know, 500, maybe 800 throughout the day. People come and go throughout the day. And so we have, I think we have 37 vendors. We have 12 nonprofits.
Wow.
And then we have all the other volunteers who are involved. So just in terms of people there to put on the park is a considerable number of people. And we do take up at least half the park. So we're a pretty big event.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Can if people, nonprofits or individuals still wanted to participate, can they still get a booth, or is that all wrapped up at this point because it's pretty close?
Unfortunately, not this year. The city has some pretty strict time limits on being able to get a permit for the park. And so we had to close all of our applications earlier in August. But next year is another matter.
Right.
And you can never stop. It's like Christmas is over. Okay, we only have 364 days to plan the next one.
Right.
What's your favorite part of the event? Do you have a favorite part?
So my favorite part usually happens the next day, and it's when they total up the amount of food we collected and we get to hear.
Yeah.
That really is because I'm also a member of First Unitarian Church. And so seeing the two communities that I love so much come together for this one thing, it fills my heart so full every year. But it's also a time, I get to see my friends that we're all too busy during the year, life 2025.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And just, for me, it's a chance to hang out with friends at the park and do some good work in the process.
Very
Wow.
cool.
Are you still looking for volunteers to help you, or?
Yes, definitely. We do need volunteers, especially the morning of and the afternoon of the event. We put up a lot of tents, and we'll need help in various sides of the event throughout the day. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, please contact me.
Okay. Oh, I think we have Grace that is just joining. Hey, Grace.
Hello,
Grace.
Yeah, thank you for joining. I was just asking Raven what her favorite part of the Pride event is. Do you want to answer that from your perspective?
One of my favorite parts is just the bringing together of community, because as pagans, we're just kind of all over the place, and it's just such a great event to bring so many people together. And a lot of times I don't see people more than, once a year at Pagan Pride. And, people are so excited to be together and to share in this experience, and invigorated by the experience of doing this community service of bringing food for the food pantry. So that would be my favorite part.
Yeah. Well, what's something that you've both learned in the time that you've been doing this? Is that putting you on the spot?
So if you mean from a perspective of running the event, this is my first year coordinating it. And there's been a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And so one of the challenges of our event is we are entirely volunteer run. And so volunteering is not as robust as it used to be. Our volunteers are getting a little older. It's harder to engage with the younger potential volunteers, and that's still an ongoing struggle, and one that I hear is common with all sorts of volunteer organizations, not just something we're struggling with. So that's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I would bet. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, Raven, you have been with Albuquerque Pride, with Albuquerque Peagan Pride for something like 20 years now, correct? Grace, how long have you been involved?
I've been involved kind of on and off just for a couple of years. I've attended for several years, but I've only volunteered on and off for a couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah. Any other fun? Go ahead, Erica.
I was gonna say, just because this is my brain. What's the weirdest food item somebody's ever brought?
Good one.
So we don't serve food to the public. We have food trucks.
No, I mean when people bring you food.
Oh,
What's the
oh.
weirdest thing somebody's like
Donated?
pickled okra or something? What's the weirdest food item somebody has dropped off to donate? And I love the fact that you had to say, "Don't bring us expired food." I mean, it's kind of sad to say that, but you got to tell people, don't empty your pantry of all your expired stuff and bring it to us.
That's really the weird stuff that we get. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but we get a lot of those things that are lurking far, far back in the cabinet, which I do understand, but it's important that everything be prepackaged and not expired and in good shape because, this is sealed. Yeah, we can't accept open packages at all. It's not just a donation, it's a gift for someone. So if we think of it like that, and maybe be a little more mindful about what we choose, not that mystery can that's been sitting there for 6 years that nobody wants to open. That's not a good idea.
Maybe the label's fallen off or.
Yeah, please. Clearly labeled, prepackaged, sealed up, non-expired. Anything like that is
meme that's how you get back at an ex. You go into their pantry and remove all the labels on all the cans. We don't want any of those cans.
Miracle.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
There.
Mystery food. Yeah, no mystery food. Okay.
No, really what the food pantry really wants is the things that are staples.
Right.
So what is that? So if I'm thinking, what is a good thing to bring? What's the most requested
rice, canned fruit, anything that, if you were struggling and you had to get your family through, pasta sauce, Mackey's and cheese in the box, anything that, the struggle meals, I hate to say it. And also cash donations are appreciated because in the food pantry can help fill in the gaps from what they get.
Mm-hmm.
So all food items, not like paper towels and plastic spoons or anything like that. Just all
we
food
also
items.
accept pet food.
Oh, that's a good thing to bring up. Yeah.
Sealed, non-expired pet food. Because people struggle, and when they can't feed their families, their pets struggle too. We don't we don't want to give up our family, our furry family members if we don't have to.
Right. Mm.
Okay, so I'm going to throw the website up here.
Yep.
So that so it's ABQ paganpride.com and it's PAGAN, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
I am, you got to spell it right to get it to the right place.
No,
it was a good guess.
Right?
It's how do people find you if they want to reach out and volunteer? Is it best just to show up that day, or would you rather them reach out to you? And if so, then how would they do that?
If they want specific information, they're welcome to check our website or reach out to me. But if you just want to show up and be put to work, show up at the park anytime during the day, I guarantee we have something for you to do, and people who will be glad to see you.
Always.
You'll be handed something to take care of something else.
Yeah. We will put you to work really quickly. That won't be a problem. We're not shy.
Well, thank you so much for being guests on the podcast today.
This was so exciting, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, this is great. Again, this is amazing. I'm always, every week, I'm like, I show up and I go, what? I didn't even know we had a thing like this. So it's very cool to learn all this great stuff. It's really amazing how much cool stuff there is in New Mexico. You know,
Yeah.
Really, I moved here and thought, coming from LA, that, it can't possibly be as interesting as what I had at home. And Albuquerque in particular is a microcosm. We're not a large city, but we've got a little bit of everything. All you have to do is look around.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much. And people can find you by going to, Erica, can you put the, abqpaganpride.com.
Yes.
We appreciate all the listeners out there that support the businesses and the nonprofits in New Mexico. Again, we are 3 Essential Questions, and we're here to support businesses and nonprofits around our state by sharing what they do and why it's important to know about them. So thanks everybody for listening. Please keep
Thank
supporting
you.
the podcast.